Yo, good morning guys, GZTV back with another video, and in this video we are going to be discussing Outer Banks. We just watched the 5th episode. I got it a little mixed up. I think I watched the 5th episode for yesterday's video and the 4th today, so I kinda got it backwards, but now I kinda understand why episode 5 went the way it went. And making the video yesterday, I was really confused because I was like, this is not the storyline I remember. Sorry about that. We're going to get back on track tomorrow when we watch episode 6. But yeah, let's talk about the 5th episode, Heist. Episode 5 of Outer Banks Season 3 starts with the news reporting that all the teens are back on Kildare, and Big John is still alive too. So this is big news to all the people of Kildare. These people have been missing for, I don't remember how long. They might have said it in the news report. People thought that Big John B was dead, but that's obviously not good news given Singh is out looking for them. So now Singh kind of knows where they're at. For now, though, the attention turns to Sarah's plan to get the cross. I mean, it's everyone's plan. Pope's parents are not happy with their son deciding to tag along and get involved in this. Like, they respect the story and stuff. It's just so dangerous for their son. I mean, I'm pretty sure the kids aren't even like 20 yet. I don't know. I mean, even if his intentions are to get it back to honor their heritage, eventually Pope's dad caves and agrees, but under the promise of not breaking any laws. Don't break any laws, do it smoothly. You're not going to be able to retrieve the cross without breaking any laws, but I mean, Pope falsely promises him that. Key's parents aren't quite so accepting and refuse to believe Ward is alive. I mean, her parents are like the worst of it. I mean, I don't know, man. It's weird. Unfortunately, Mike lashes out at JJ in the process, pointing out that he's a liar and a thief like his father. And he's like talking behind his back and stuff, and yeah, man. Just to spite him and prove the guy right, JJ takes off with a stack of cash left on the table. I mean, if he wants to call him a thief, he's just gonna make that be known that he is a thief, and he's gonna run off with his money. Key follows after him and the pair leave, but not before Key's mom gives his daughter a credit card and a promise to keep safe. And yeah, I mean, her mother is actually starting to try to understand her, which is respectable, but deep down, I'm pretty sure she thinks this whole ordeal is kind of dumb and foolish, you know? In Charleston, John B. and Big John work together to look for Trinity Church. While they fail to find the church outright, there's a sign that leads them to Charleston Museum. So it's kind of funny. John B. finds the sign before his dad does. He's like, "Oh, you're quite the explorer, eh?" Once there, Big John manages to find out that the archives for the church are actually being kept in a downtown museum storage near the Battery. I don't know why the hell that employee told them where this stuff was going to be, but I mean, whatever. They need a key card to get in, prompting them to hone in on a target that is a key card they can use to get in. Part of that comes from breaking in after hours, which they manage to do when the director wanders in drunk with his date at 3 a.m. They take the opportunity. They stick a little palm tree branch in the door. John B. and his dad begin looking through the archives, now operating undisturbed and intent on finding anything to do with Trinity Church. They gotta find all these artifacts, they gotta collect it, they gotta get closer to the treasure and stuff like that. They eventually stumble upon cardboard boxes full of trinkets and gear. It's John B. who finds the other part of the statue they're after, wrapped in a cloth and called Kalanago. His dad seems like devastated at first, they can't seem to find it. But then John B. realizes they missed a box, you know? It fits perfectly with the other section of the statue, and it reacts with the skylight, which is really dope. In bringing it up to the light, the eyes begin glowing white, and this is a very emotional moment between Big John and the son. They have a nice little bonding moment over this. The other heist, the one involving Sarah and the others, hits a lucky break when Topper sees the news and speaks to Sarah at the bar. Sarah convinces him to give her his dad's truck and work with them on this. He's not going to give them his dad's truck. He's going to help them by letting them use it, of course. With everything they need, the group show up in Wilmington at the train yard. The whole place is full of carriages, but they eventually find themselves holding onto a speeding train, which happens to have the carriage in question coupled to it. So, yeah. Key and JJ work to try and change the current on the tracks, making the signal turn red and stopping the train at a standstill so they can, get the cross off the truck. Which I didn't know the jumper cables would change the... That's kind of a cool little thing. I didn't know that. I've never seen that in a movie before either. When police show up to investigate, Pope and Cleo concoct a story pretending they're madly in love and trying to run away. Obviously, very reluctantly, they're not in love, but they had to make up a story. Miraculously, it seems to work, and the pair are left alone as they search the train carriages. They continue on with their search. They eventually find a package inside one carriage with Cameron Ward's name on it, and they just about manage to take it out before the train starts again. Obviously, a little plot convenience, getting it out. But, interesting plot twist in this episode, for sure. En route, the police realize that there's a train robbery in operation and a big chase ensues, so shit is going down. On the road, JJ decides to hold up the police and with a rock in hand drives back and smashes their windscreen. Pretty much trying to distract them and trying to get Topper and the rest of the group away. It works to divert the police's attention, but despite the sacrifice, Sarah refuses to leave him to the cops and they turn the car around, heading in the same direction. They can't leave anybody behind. They really care about each other, of course. JJ slips off the bridge, falling to the ground below, but coming away without a scratch. That's the power of plot armor. That was kind of that's kind of flawed, honestly. I don't know why they made it so he didn't get affected by that, but yeah. Anyway, the police allow them to have a touching reunion before eventually calling for backup. So, yeah. When John B. and Big John make it out the archives in one piece, the Twinkie is gone, having been stolen by Carla. She's left them a note confirming she's responsible, but it's another big sticking point as they show up at her place. Big John concocts a phony plan to convince Limbre of a miracle, which does the trick as they manage to take off with their truck. I think they said, it was gonna heal her or something? I don't know. It's weird. As the episode closes out, it turns out the train robbery was all for nothing. The package they have isn't the cross after all, as it happens to be a decoy. So where is the real cross? Well, it turns out Rafe has it with Barry. And that makes sense because in episode 4, the one I skipped out on, they plan to burn it and keep the gold. And Rafe wanted it to look like Barry stole it. He intends to melt the cross down so they can profit off the gold, but you just know where there's going to be a betrayal in there somewhere. The episode was full of contrivances, despite being pretty entertaining, and it'll be interesting to see how the kids navigate this minefield going forward. Not only are they big news, but they're also wanted by the police. After what happened last season, that big chase and train robbery is going to make it very difficult for any of our characters to operate around OBX, as the police are undoubtedly going to come down hard on them. Pause. The fact that the cops didn't even bother to chase after JJ following his tumble off the bridge, not to mention the fact he walks away without a scratch, only compounds those issues further. It was very confusing. It's like the cops could have easily busted the kids, but they didn't. I don't know. However, the show is still entertaining, but without singing his goons in this chapter, there's a distinct lack of antagonistic threat to deal with. That's all I have to say. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. It does feel like there's not a threat facing this group, but we're going to get into The Last of Us, and then I